Yeah, happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Change Your Lives. Hosted by Deonte Burden. Got an awesome show planned for you guys tonight. You got to excuse my tardiness. In a nutshell, I've been working on Chateau Pouche. That's my estate.
Right.
And got my little focal point area going, man. And your boy, I had to give me a little nap for the show and I overslept. So please forgive me. Just be transparent with everybody.
That's right.
But I will be making a video on my whole project. I've been making a video in regards to what we've been doing and stuff. So I think you guys are gonna like it.
A building blog.
Yeah. But I'm proud of myself, bro. I'm proud of myself. But we got an awesome show planned for you guys tonight. What we're gonna be discussing is something that I think a lot of parents go through, especially a lot of during the whole process of raising your kids from childbirth. You know that you have more control because again your child is an infant or a toddler, maybe even going to early adolescence. And as a parent, you're in charge to tell them what to do. But as they grow, we find out very quickly that things can change depending on how they go about life and things like that. So the way you handle them, the way you interact with them is different. And what we're discussing tonight is, do you want your kids to respect you or fear you? And we talked about this before on the show. I think it's the previous show we just revisiting. I think me and Lamar did this show maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But I want to talk about it because it hasn't changed in regards to some of the conversations I have with parents in regards to how they have different conversations and different ways that they do their kids. And it's unique when you hear people talk about, well, I just want to have this kind of relationship and I want it to be this way, I want it to be this way. But then when they find out, like, sometimes that shit don't work.
Right.
This kid that you let them talk or express themselves, now they damn near embarrassing and disrespecting you in front of people.
Right.
Or not giving a damn, whatever. Or, you start doing certain things with them and you've had so much control. Then, it's like they can't think on their own. You ask your kids, hey, man, you gonna think of that? Like, no, because you've already made my decisions.
Right.
And this is not to beat parents up or anything like that, to have any kind of scrutiny, but it's just have, like, it's always a good discussion in regards to that. Again, we're talking about, do you want your kids to fear you or respect you? We'll have an open dialogue. I want you guys to feel free to call in. The call-in number is 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. But I definitely want to have this discussion because across the rainbow, people say that because what's the natural answer? I want to respect.
I want to respect.
I don't want to fear me. But I think that's bullshit. That was fast. Thanks for calling Change Your Lives.
Hey, I was wanting to talk. I used to not respect my parents at all, and then that's a topic, right?
Yeah. Do you want your kids to respect you or fear you? But I'm listening to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to never respect my parents, and then one day, how I learned, I ended up finding worms in my stool, and then from there, I don't know, I had all these worms in my stool, and I had to learn to respect my parents for it.
Okay.
Your mama.
It's a weird.
No, man. Oh, your mama. So you know that's what I'm saying, man. Don't call her playing. You ain't got no parents. That's the problem.
My God.
That's what I'm talking about. see, when cousins breed, when sisters and brothers have sex, that's what happens. That's what happens.
Oh,
when
Lord.
sisters and brothers have sex, that's the kind of stuff that happens.
Right. I don't even know if he thought that was funny.
No.
I thought it was funny because it was asinine.
Them damn incest baby.
He said he found words in his stool. What the hell?
I know, that came from TikTok.
That was
TikTok.
Oh my God.
Damn incest
That's
baby.
why I'm not on TikTok.
Well, we probably got a couple hundred people strolling in through TikTok right now. So
yeah, but I'm just saying though.
Let me tell you the good with the bad.
We got to.
You know,
we,
so
we don't have no other choice.
But that was wake us up pretty early. But again, guys, we're talking about, do you want your kids to respect you or fear you? Right now, we're streaming on Changing Lives. You know, Changing Lives, we talk about personal development, professional development, parenting, and giving them respect on the channel. If right now we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. Again, that's Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter. But the main hub is the Changing Lives YouTube channel. You can go and hit the link in the bio on in TikTok. All the other platforms, you see the link where you can go to it. So you have to leave during the show or come back in the middle of it. And I get the info out again. Feel free to go to the YouTube channel and subscribe first and check out the video in the whole entirety. Okay? Worms just messed me up, man.
Don't let them mess you up. You know, it's some weirdos out there. And they just people just weird. Like since Divock, they got weirder. I think the Divock was eating brain cells, to be honest with you. So,
but I'm gonna say something to you, Lab. So we start. Before we get started, I'm gonna say what's up to my awesome producer, DJ Lab.
What's going on, brother?
Now what's happening, brother?
I think we just go and say what's up, Slick. Move on past that.
What's happening, Reed? But you know, again, when we start talking about again, do you want your kids to fear you or respect you? The whole adage, a lot of times you ask people, you ask them, what do you want, parents?
Right.
And parents are gonna say, hey, listen. Before, let me repeat it again. I know your damn number. You call again. The call-in number is 678-740-9894.
Right.
Again, feel free to call in 678-740-9894.
With something to add to the conversation, not random weirdo stuff, please.
We'll take an icon, player. You know, but again, like we start asking parents that, I just do my little homemade, people poll in regards to do you want your kids to feel you, respect you? That natural response is always, I want them to respect me.
Uh-huh.
And then I ask questions like why, because I want them, respect me as a person, believe this, that, and that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny when you hear people say that because their movements is out of fear.
Okay. Same up.
Another call. Thanks for calling Change Live. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, this is Rusty.
That's the same fucking idiot. There you go.
Hey,
I can't hear it. Hey, I just want to say that.
It's a different number?
Nah, it was different. It was a different number. I appreciate it. Hey, you ask, you share a damn receipt.
Right.
I want people calling. I ain't know the incest babies on the damn internet tonight.
It's Thursday.
Sexy Red Bone said this just go to show you got motion, got the white folks playing games. It's all good.
Right.
Man, that's interesting. But Lab, like I said, naturally when you hear certain things about, we ask parents that, but and then the movements is
right.
I'm gonna whoop this, I'm gonna do this and do that, yell this, that, and that. And
we're not gonna do this all night. Answer. Go ahead and answer.
Thanks for calling Change Your Lives.
You all ever fuck fat white bitches?
What'd he say?
I don't know.
I said y'all ever fuck any fat white bitches? You'll get worms in your stool that way.
Oh Lord.
Do your mother have them? I tell you, man.
We're not doing this.
Hey, do you got? Come on now. Like, you ask and you shall receive.
I will go in there and block them, but it'll take a second.
Nah, we good, man.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they called 3 different numbers.
Oh, okay.
3 different numbers been called from.
Oh, okay. Well,
I guess Pornhub down. Pornhub down tonight, yeah. That's how that is.
Go to Twitter. They got plenty porn.
Well, but just to get back on topic, when you hear parents say certain things, like, it's natural, like, hey, I want to respect me. But again, a lot of the movements is totally different.
Right.
Where they're yelling and, doing this and doing that, corporal punishment, whooping and everything. And I want to have that discussion because I think a lot of times people don't really start thinking about the subject until it personally affects them. What I mean by personally affects them, I'm talking in terms of now when you're out there in the world, is a child embarrassing? Are they talking back to you in front of people? Are they doing certain things
Right.
that they can be contradictory with how you may be moving certain things with your kids.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And I want to have that discussion because a lot of times parents, especially when they get older, and now you have an adult child,
Mm-hmm.
and it's damn near like you got another big baby.
Right.
Whereas depending on how if you still taking care of them, or they're being disrespectful to you, they have certain expectations from you and stuff like that. I think a lot of things happen,
right,
because of certain movements weren't done when that child, the development
when the
stage
child
of that
was younger.
child.
Right.
Exactly.
You didn't you instill certain values in them when they were younger. So you end up with them calling a podcast 4 times talking about worms in the stool. But that's just how people are raised. They're raised like that. They're raised with a lack of respect or lack of disrespect for people, the way that they are, the way that they move, the way that they talk. They just have a lack of disrespect for people, and then generally,
let me see, or they inbred. Inbred,
that could be it.
Hello.
He must don't have nothing to do.
He got something to do.
He must have anything to do.
I probably look like that guy that was visiting his mama when his dad was at work.
And it's both of me. Respect me to know what I will and will not accept. You're gonna have to unplug that phone today, and we're not gonna get through this show playing with that guy.
I'm gonna cut the volume down on the ringer so it's not really.
Oh, I can cut the volume off of it. I mean, you could just turn it off.
If I see it come up, I don't want to just if I see a local area code number,
okay.
I'll pick it up. Just cut it down as far as volume.
Okay.
But
just cut the volume off over here for now.
But yeah, like I said, man, probably whoever the guy used to come see his mom and daddy went to work.
Right.
He probably favor him. A short ball guy. But those kind of things, and I forgot where I was for a second.
It's gonna ring there, but it's not gonna ring through the boards. They're not gonna hear anywhere else.
This is a local call.
Okay. He might be coming from a local number. You say it's coming from 5 numbers. Go ahead.
Thanks for calling Change Your Lives.
Hey, I ended up getting worms in my stool from eating ass the other day.
Did you? He just called from different numbers. He's spoofing numbers.
What the fuck? We got a great show planned today. Come on, man. God damn. But
just you got that out. He gonna keep doing it because he's a fucking retard. Sorry, what a friend.
But this is just
go talk to him.
Thanks for calling Change Your Lives.
Hi, I'm a legitimate caller. Regarding your show talking about parents respecting or fearing, I just want to add, I think it's important that there's a bond between the guardians and the children. And I think that's so many times what may be overlooked by people. And the bond comes from time, right? It's not necessarily money. It's not paying child support. It's not putting them in programs and dropping them off and expecting somebody else to mentor or coach your child. It's about putting the time in, even when there's tension, even when there are bad times or uncomfortable times, for all those parents to really have that bond and that time. And when you push through together. When you win together. When you fail together. And I think that's so important because that bond will allow whatever you're seeking. I think most people will openly say they want their child to respect them. And as they go through different parts of their life, from adolescence to, maybe if they're in their late 20s, it does change and their needs change and your place in their life can change. But I think if you put that time in, and that's so important for both mothers and fathers, if you put that time in, I think overall it comes out positive, just like the prodigal son. It doesn't mean that they won't have issues. They won't sometimes buck with you. They may say, I'm not going to talk with you for 6 months, whatever goes through. But that time and that bond is most important.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. One of the things, Lab, and I'm gonna be real with you. One of the things I think that and I appreciate the caller calling in. What we forget about, and I was thinking about this earlier today, is the whole adage. A lot of times people say, well, you're a good parent, you're a bad parent, whatever. And I say this all the time. As parents, we get too much credit when they do right,
Mm-hmm.
and we get too much blame to do wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, it's just really the kids gonna make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
No one raised their kid to be a rapist or murderer or steal whatever.
Right.
Like that. No one does that.
Right.
Thanks for calling Changing Lives.
Damn worms are tearing my asshole out. God damn.
This guy, man. Say hey to your mama.
What's up, Mama?
Hey, mom.
Mama, I'm sorry you see the inbreds. But let me say, but just getting back into it, you can be on the right track as far as doing things with your child, but at the end of the day, your child still can do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think enough is said in regards to sometimes, you can be fully involved with a child and they can make decisions that ain't the wisest.
Right.
You can have 4 or 5 kids and 3 do the right thing and 1 just do something that's totally oblivious to everything else. But I think that's one of the biggest things I think a lot of people miss out with. You know what I'm saying, Lab?
Yeah.
And I always be wanting to have conversation with people. Because a lot of times people want to vent in regards to what the kids doing or what the kids didn't do.
Right.
But they never go back to the root. I talked about it a lot. One of my mentors in business always said to me, people discuss solutions on how to fix something, but they never want to go back to the root, the cause.
Right. They want to Band-Aid.
Yeah, well, Band-Aid or even just say, well, look, this is going to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
We can stop this.
Right.
But if we don't fix this, if we can go back and fix this or correct this, we might can make it where it doesn't happen again. Might be too far along, you never know.
Right.
But a lot of times people want to have that conversation. And I think, especially, you for the Black community, it's that rule with an iron fist.
Right.
I'm not trying to get in and say what's right or what's wrong.
Right.
We got to have a discussion. I'm going to be transparent with how I feel about parenting. But, it's that rule with an iron fist. We can say some of this stuff is, you get a spare the rod, spoil the child. Some of the stuff is based, you can be stealing back from slavery, stealing back from religion. I've heard so many different ways.
Right.
I've seen parents as a coach at youth, folk parents emasculate their kids, especially young men in front of people. All kind of different things. And, just really torment them. Well, it look like that to me. It might be common to them. And I didn't necessarily feel that was the right way we're doing it. And sometimes people can say, well, I just want to, have total respect. I'm going to treat them like we're peers. So they can speak freely what they want to say. They just do what they want to do. I'm going to let them make decisions and what to do that. And I don't think necessarily the consequences that come along with that. And I know me personally. I'm kind of straight up.
Right.
I've raised my kids with both.
Okay.
Like my kids know, I'm kind of no nonsense with a lot of things. But I do respect them.
Okay.
I felt like I've been a lot more straight edge when they were younger. And as they got older, just, kind of loosen up in regards to just, give them opportunity to develop. And so when I say about from the field perspective, I always respect my kids know. And if any one of them tune in, they feel free to call in or, we'll stop the calling. But leave a comment.
Yeah, we're not gonna throw this show off with that tomfoolery. I don't hear people. But anyway, it was
a good show to have calling.
Yeah, but if they can't get through with him.
No, I get you. No,
just constantly calling from different numbers. Like, man.
No, I got you. But let me say this: the thing of it is, with my children, one of our rules was always, don't front on each other.
Right.
We don't front on each other in public. Don't embarrass your siblings. Well, I don't do the same thing. I never fronted on my kids in public. Now we get home, we all gonna talk, or I might talk whatever this, that, but we never ever went through, left the house or whatever. But I had some just strict ways I was.
Right.
I always said my house ain't no democracy.
Right.
Shit like freedom and privacy. That's what you pay for at the hotel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do that in my house.
This is dictatorship over here.
Yeah. And that's how I am. But as they've grown, and I talk about this a lot, and the boys, they tune into the show. I've always been big on teaching your kids how to think and make decisions. Put them in positions where, look, man, well, where that come from?
Mhm.
Why you want to do this? Why you want to do that? And all that kind of stuff.
Right,
You know?
right.
But listen, as of right now, I get this what you want to do, but you're not old enough to take care of that. You know, just hey, this is what's going on.
Right.
Now I ain't gotta sit here and say, well, you're gonna do what the hell I say, whatever. At the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with pushing it, but at the flip side of it is the kid is not stupid. They want to do why?
Right.
Well, daddy, that doesn't make sense because what can be missed out on, I can say, son, I want you to do it this way,
Mhm.
but your child, because if you don't give them an opportunity to talk, well, daddy, that's not necessarily because you can just take care of this and want to do that.
Right.
But if I don't listen,
Mhm.
you understand what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So you got to give them some kind of point to develop with that. But you got to be so. What's the link on Facebook so I can follow? The link to the bio. But if you put in "Changing Lives," hosted by Deonte Burden, Chris Duncan, it'll pop up. Changing Lives. You see the blue man icon. That same one that's on TikTok. It'll come up. But,
Slick says that it's both for me, respect for me to know what I will and will not accept, and fear enough to know what I will do, what I do to you if you cross my lines. So, you know, she said it's both for her.
well, you know what, Lab? But let me say something to you. I think that a lot of times when you got to sit here in leadership, especially with your children,
Mhm.
leadership requires the sacrifice of time.
Mhm.
And a lot of times we just don't want to be bothered.
Mhm.
Because these things mean the whoopings,
Right.
right?
Right.
These things mean the fuss at them. But it's going to take time
Mhm.
for me to talk to them. And not only just talk to them, but instruct them and be patient
Mhm.
while they comprehend the process. You see
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Anytime that all of us have done, say we done like a new job, right?
Mhm.
Been on a new job, and you know, you don't know. The short word is say you're done.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But you can easily go into a new job, making mistakes, supervisors come to you, raise hell, you're gonna feel some type of way.
Right.
Like, damn, they had a machine go and they're gonna take you a couple times doing it. After a couple weeks or whatever, a month or so, you don't become proficient, right? And then after a while, you might get your own little knack system into it. What if initially, when you first start doing something, you get hard criticism?
Mhm.
That ain't how the hell you do it. Why don't you do it this way? See, that's what I'm saying. Stop being so dumb. Stop
Right.
being so slow.
Right.
Right? Where would your development come from? Your
Right.
development off, your confidence off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You ain't even focused on getting better. You like, man,
No, why you coming at me like this?
yeah.
Right.
So if you're an adult that can feel that way, how would you think a child would receive that?
Same way.
You see what I'm saying?
Worse.
Worse, because their emotional intelligence ain't as strong
Mhm.
supposed to be as an adult, right?
Mhm.
We know that. So you got to be careful with it. I've always put that pressure on my kids to think, but I'd be straight up like, now, like, man, you know, if you want to do it, I can use even with the boys with college,
Right.
and 3 of my boys that went to college, and it was always the same proposal.
Mm.
This is what I can afford. This is what I can. If you want to do out of this,
Right.
you got it. That's on you. You got to write some essays, whatever. But I'm not entertaining it.
Mhm.
And I wasn't going to be the type. I know at the end of the day, if stuff didn't go right, it was going to come back to me.
Mhm.
I got too much going on to sit here and be stuck with a situation that you didn't want to do right by. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I get what you're saying.
So look, this is what the hell we're gonna do. If you want to do something outside of that, son, that's fine.
Right.
And for the most part, like, Dad, I want to.
Make
What
it
are you
happen.
gonna do?
Right. What you gonna do to make it happen?
What are you gonna do? If you ain't doing that, I'm not entertaining it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, and I share this all the time, Larry, one of the most stupid shit I hear people say in adults, that my personal opinion, is they ask a child, well, what do you want to do?
Oh.
And when you ask that child what they want to do, they're going to do what? I always say the path to least resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Always choose the easiest path. The issue comes up is you can ask them what to do, but most important, what? They don't know how to get there.
Right. So you still have to show them.
I've had that conversation with my kids all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Who the hell do you know is doing what the hell they want to do?
Not a lot of people. Not a lot.
Most adults are doing what they have to
do. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when a person says that, what do you want to do? You're going to choose, but you don't know how to get there.
Mm-hmm.
For you to get in a situation where you're doing what you want to do, you got to do a lot of shit you don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And once you do that, make them sacrifice, you'll put yourself in position
to do what you want.
You know what I'm saying? This ain't, in that Alice in Wonderland, click the hill.
This a
You're
Wizard
down.
of Oz.
Oh, yeah. I got to win Wizard of Oz.
Yes. Alice in Wonderland, something down the rabbit hole.
Man, it's that worm, dude.
There's that worm, dude. He throwing you out.
San Luis PR said parents tend to repeat how they are raised, functional or dysfunctional. And that's, well, you know what? That's a good point.
I was just gonna say that.
I would say this, but as we grow, we also say, I look at this. I'm the father. I am because my daddy went around.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of stuff that my grandparents did structurally that I was like, okay, was good, but some stuff they didn't that they did I didn't agree with, so I chose not to do that. So I think we as we mature, we pick up certain things that we may think is morally right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then some things just like I just didn't like how they shape.
But I think us as adults and how we were raised, it does affect us in certain ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, I didn't know my father, but it made me want to be a better father to make sure my kids knew their father.
Same
for one. And number two, I wasn't whooped as a child. I didn't get punishments or nothing like that. I was just pretty much free flowing. I was just, cause for one, I was the only kid, only child. I had two sisters, but they wasn't raised with me at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I was on my mom's side. I was the only child. I was the only grandchild for 18 years. I was the only niece or nephew or for 18 years. So I was the only one for a long time.
Gotcha.
So my grandchild, only one. So for me, my discipline didn't necessarily come out in, corporal punishment or anything. I very rarely remember getting any corrective measures, but I wasn't really doing a lot of bad things. So I'm just doing like riding my bike, going, just doing kid stuff. So I don't know how to explain how I stayed away from bad stuff, but I just did.
Let me ask you a question though. Did you have any close friends or siblings? Well, definitely not siblings, just even like
I had a
cousin,
best friend. I don't have any cousins. Not until I got 18.
Because the reason why I'm about to ask that is sometimes there are some things, as a father of four, I can just honestly say one or two of them, I ain't never really been a big whooper. Mm-hmm. Some stuff I'd be lying if I say I ain't never whooped my kids before. But for the most part, we talk. But I can't sit here and say that I ain't had to come down on one a little bit more than like some of them I'd be like say something to one time. Mm-hmm. Sometimes some of them I got to say, man, this shit going through your damn head. Y'all good kids, but do you think that was just more so like, okay, I just wasn't getting into that, or just like with that? Because at the end of the day, and I say, let me say this before you answer, I don't necessarily know what's the right way. Right. I always just go back. This is what I did, right, and this worked for me. And I never get no conversation with parents with doing that, because that's why I thought one of the most ignorant things in the world. And let me cut y'all laugh. One of the more ignorant things where I hear all the time with people saying, well, that's what happened when they took whooping out of schools or praying in schools. Like I went to a private school at first, and I remember my teacher going out there in the parking lot, fussing with her husband, and came back in. And a couple of us were giggling, like first, second grade, and she popping all us. You know what I'm saying? Right. I knew this one was mad coming in this room. Right. And we were doing like some kid stuff, giggling, and she popping. Right. So I ain't too big on nobody touching my damn child. I'm being real. Right. And as we know now, a lot of these teachers have real mental issues. Right. I'm not with that shit. Right. So and I'm not really so big on even with, unless you're enrolled in a certain school, pushing certain religious ideologies on my children, because we can be in the same religion, but your perspective of the mind will be totally different. Right. And unless I sign up to be in that Catholic school or be in that Christian school, that's different. Right. But I'm not really so big on that. So I just think that I'm not real big on holistic parenting. Just what you do with everybody the same. But I'm sorry, Larry. Ask you, your comment.
What you were asking me, I think that was, I just think it was, I did have a best friend, and his mother kind of helped me, guide me, because I was really close to her and them. their family. So it was kind of like that as a family unit. Don't get me wrong. Now, my grandmother and them, they did a great job with, when I was over there, but I wasn't over there all the time. I mean, I consider myself to be raised by my grandparents, my grandmother and my great grandmother. You get what I'm saying? But not necessarily by just, I would be over here sometimes and I would be over there sometimes, but not just in one place at any particular time. You get what I'm saying? So I say that to say that I was raised without really much corporal punishment. Like none really. Like I remember one time getting a whooping in 6th grade. That was it. And that wasn't even very long because my grandfather stopped that in his tracks. But my ex-wife was corporal punishment a lot. And that made her be more violent towards our children when they were younger. She just wanted to go straight to the corporal punishment. I'm like, no, hold on a second. Let's see what's going on first. And then if it's some stupid stuff, then we go there. But I didn't want to go straight to that. That wasn't my go-to. Because, just because, Poochie say, well, my son was doing something or he was doing it wrong or whatever, I'm going to talk to him to see if he, for one, he understand what he did wrong.
Or Poochie lying.
Or to see if what he was doing that he thought it was wrong, or if he didn't think he was wrong, or if you're right, or if Poochie fucking lying, So I used to try to do that first, and I used to try to, because she would just go straight to it. But that was just to say that's how she was raised. She was raised that way. I wasn't necessarily raised that way. I wasn't raised with a corporal punishment type deal going on. I didn't fear getting a whooping or anything, but I did respect my grandparents. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I respect them enough not to make them look stupid in the streets or not to make our family look bad by doing something wrong. You get what I'm saying? But I didn't necessarily, I don't want to say fear them like not to get in trouble, but I didn't fear them like I'm gonna get a whooping. You get what I'm saying? That's not the type of fear I had with my grandparents because they wasn't those type of people.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Like I'm just thinking in regards to, I had younger parents, and then my grandparents were, primarily there. I think kind of even with perspective just with William being my 4th son, and I think between William and T, it's like 15 years. 15 to 16 years, grandparents be a lot more wiser. And things I might have blew up with T in my early 20s.
Right.
William, I really, I just resolve it differently. Right. Of course, I don't have the actual juice to be jumping up and down and raising hell like I used to, but I'm wiser.
Right.
Things that I probably younger thought was a big deal, they're a big deal now because I got more life on me now and wisdom and stuff as a parent. We're doing it. But that's a good perspective, Lamb. I don't think people have enough conversations in regards to this, and I do think a lot of times people generally want to be the best parents they can be,
right?
But they want to do it probably the most convenient way.
But a lot of them do it the way that they know how, the way that they've been. We all mimic our parents. We all mimic our parents to a certain degree.
If it worked.
If
we feel it worked.
Right, but even if we don't feel, I'm gonna give you this though. Even if we don't feel it work, even if we try our best not to be like them, we still garner ways like them. Yeah. We still do certain things the way that they would have done it, even if we think it's bad. We still do things in respect to how our parents did them. It's maybe not everything, but there's little certain nuances that we do, and we do copy as our parents' children. That's just natural progression. That's just how it happens because you see them all the time and you see them doing these things. You do them. Yeah. It's just like if you saw your dad fixing cars every day and you were out there handing him wrenches and stuff. Eventually, you might get interested in fixing on cars because that's what you see your dad. Right? You get what I'm saying? Because that's what you saw your dad doing. So that's just how it is. So we tend to raise our children how we think the best way, and we always add little nuances of what our parents did or grandparents did to help that along. Yeah.
And the only funky spot, let me read this comment. Savvy Publicity PR said, our beginning environment shape us. If we like us or not, it can even create fear or anxiety to not repeat it. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. But hey, Lamb, you mind plugging it back up just in case. If it started back out, I don't want you to get thrown off. I got you.
Man, it took a minute for you to get revved up.
I just felt like this was just a good show. We had a good conversation. But Warren guy, we'll stop, man. But
I just don't want you to get thrown off
I
because
got
they can always comment.
I got you. I appreciate it. But just to that point, like I become a much more wiser parent, over the years and stuff. But it's just one of them things, man. When I hear people talk about this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do with your kids, you're taking out the part of that every child is different.
Right.
That's what I think people miss out. And not only every child different, every child is being raised in different circumstances, different homes, from a social standpoint, a financial standpoint, a time standpoint, whatever. It's so much stuff that's totally different.
Right.
And you got even kids in the same household. One can be a little bit more exterior and mentally tough, and one can be a little bit more emotional.
Right.
Same mom and daddy.
Right.
Same kind of interaction.
Right.
But one sit here and bounce stuff out, the other one, damn, that goes in a whole conniption for somebody called them ugly. Right?
Right.
And it ain't nothing happen because of that. They just different. Right?
Yeah, there's no one size fits all.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So the thing of it is, what I want to just talk about some of, I believe, the greatest, I always talk about that whole aspect of thinking and having your kids be able to process stuff on their own. We start talking about fear and respect. What I want to do is just give some reason why I think you should probably prefer respect as opposed to fear. Number one, I think, just healthy relationships. I think big picture wise, because I know everyone heard different, and it could be y'all was okay. Whereas a lot of times parents are like, man, you ask a person, hey man, you heard from Junior, man, I ain't talked to him about 4 or 5 months or whatever. Right. And a lot of times, depending on how y'all relationship is, and the kid can just disappear. But a lot of times, if y'all don't have a good relationship that's been one-sided, what's your skincare routine? Soap and water.
Oh my God. You don't have to get off the TikTok.
But when you hear parents say certain things I haven't heard from. A lot of it, not all, is depending on how the relationship is.
Right.
We start talking about having respect. That's when I went back earlier and I was mentioning we don't front, we don't do certain things with each other. A lot of times, depending on how y'all relationship is, going to adulthood, like PJ, like they young adults now. Right. Certain conversations I can have with them, be it or whatever, I can do that and stuff like that. Some things that come to me, some they don't. You know what I'm saying? But I said, like, now we have more of an adult relationship now. And those are kind of things you appreciate. Because I always say to myself, me personally, I don't mind my kids talking to other people. I just want to make sure that I hope that you talk to somebody that's credible. I don't need to know that my son called Uncle Lab to how do you do this? You deal in property management. How did you get started with this? Give me some pros, con, whatever, picking your brain. Hey, I'm looking at doing a podcast. Let me pick your brain. I don't even know y'all talk. Right. But I do have a problem if you call some Negro that knows as much as you know. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like that do irk me because I know you're thinking. Call. I've always been that way. I had no problem. Like, I call my buddy, hey, PJ called me last week, want to ask me something. Okay, cool. Right. I don't even know what the hell y'all talked about. Right. Because I know how my kids are. Right. You understand what I'm saying, Lab? Right. But those kind of things, we got them relationships where y'all know what's going on. I think that helps. When we start talking about fear, you might look at, hey, listen, the first chance they get that they ain't got to deal with your ass, gone.
Well, I'm gonna give you a different scenario. That I think when Slick and her son Carlos, they had a great relationship as far as mother and son, and I really believe in my heart that he respected and loved her with everything he had, but he also feared her, like, and I don't want to say feared like she was gonna cause bodily harm to him. I think it was more feared like he just didn't want to disappoint her. You get what I'm saying? Like he feared doing something that would disappoint her because how hard she worked to raise him, to maintain their lifestyle, to make sure he had, clothes. I mean, he he bought his own Dickies and stuff off the porch. He jumped off the porch at 5, buying his own clothes from what he told me. But I'm just saying, like, we say fear, but there's different aspects of fear. There's different aspects that you can throw out there about fear. You know, you can fear of physical punishment. You can fear of disappointing someone. So his fear was, he feared disappointing her, but he respected her enough to tell her when he did do something. You get what I'm saying? Or when he did, or he respected her enough not to tell her because she would be too disappointed. You get what I'm saying? So it was a thin line he was working. It was a thin line he was walking, but everything he did came out of respect and love. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
His fear was out of respect and love. And they dynamic was so different. You know, you look at like, you scared of, you look like, you know, you think when you see it, like, you scared of her, but you'll kill a brick for her. You know, just like, it's just those things. He did not, when they got older, when he got older, he did not separate from her because of fear. I think he got closer to her when he got older. You get what I'm saying? Like, wherever she moved to, he had to be in a couple of blocks away. It was just how it was.
You know, it's funny you say that. I'm not going to sit here and say all my kids have that fear, disappointment factor. I think majority of them do. But I will say this. With my 2 older boys, because I was so hard when I was younger, they do probably still jump a little bit.
Okay.
When I say something. What I had to learn personally, like, I don't want to need to be imposing like that because, like I say all the time, I don't want to be taking care of no damn grown person.
Right.
So me trying to sit here, do this and do that, you know, I learned that early on. I'll say they kind of like with Torian before he went to college, like, hey man, listen, you know, you need to just make sure he's able to decide because I want you to be able to make your own decisions. But most importantly, you got to live with your decisions. Right. So I do think for the majority of them don't want to necessarily let me down, but I do think they understand that, listen, if we go outside of what he's saying, because not necessarily I'm saying, hey, do this, take it or leave it. I ain't tripping. But what I always say, listen, this is my advice. If I'm wrong with my advice, I can help you fix it. Right. If you want to do what you want to do, that's on you. Right. Real talk. Real talk. And when they go through it, if you want to try me or not, hey, daddy, hey, cool. What time the game come on? Right. I ain't entertain that shit. Right. But if I'm just saying being real with it or with doing it, I ain't tripping. I ain't know I told you so. I ain't know I throw it in your face. Anybody know me? I'm not that. You know what I'm saying? But what we ain't gonna do is you yo-yo me. Right. You know what, I'm gonna do it this way. And then come back, hey, it didn't work. They get out my face. Right. No. Keep that same energy. If you're gonna be a man 24/7. If you don't know, hey, Dad, I really don't know, man. Can you help me out? Right. Cool, I got you. Right. Cool. Give him your best advice, and if it don't work, I'm fix it. Exactly. Right. But if you want to do it your own way, that's fine. But understand it, because I'm like, no, I don't think that's gonna work, dog. Right. But do it. Right. But if it don't, hey, listen, you got better have no consequences. And I think one of the problems is most parents are so afraid to let their kids go through something. They scared to see their kids feel bad, or, well, I can't do this, I'm hungry, or I might not be able to do this. Hey man, look, I can't entertain it. Right. I can't entertain it. You try to PJT, they buy them microwaves for free though. You know what I'm saying? Right. Hey, I ain't got no gas. Well, I'm sitting here like, I sent you this, your mama might have sent you that. Yeah, right. What going on? Right. What the? No. you had money. Yeah. Right. Oh, whoa. That's right now. I'm just saying, I can't entertain it. And at the end of the day, if you don't get into that woman, they learn. We got George Whitfield, 13. It's great to give young men and women advice about your problem opportunity. Thanks, I appreciate that. I just think that it's a thing with parents. We don't want to see them, you know, and you know, we catch them so much. We always have the stigma of we don't want them to go through what we went through, and we don't want them to struggle like we struggle. You know, we always have a mindset that we want our children to have and do better than we did. Yeah, but you forget what you went through made you. Right, and we do forget that as we get. Yeah. But once we see them children, we like,
I want them to go through that.
Yeah, and but the thing, shit, let me tell you something. I don't never want my kids to go through anything that can be detrimental to them.
Right.
But I think it's good to go through adversity. That's why I love sports.
Right.
Because, you know, there are a lot of life lessons always correlating with sports, you know, handling stress, dealing with adversity, attention to detail, things like that. That ain't even the military. I just think that whole aspect of just being uncomfortable, seeing your child stress, seeing your child cry, and when I say child, I ain't talking about baby.
Right.
I'm talking about maybe that adolescent, teenager, young adult.
16, 17.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, you know, I get a call, one of the boys, the professor, when I hear about these professors not teaching it right and all that stuff, the first question I have is: the people paying the test?
Right.
Well, what I'm trying to get, son,
Right.
it shows me that means some people comprehended what that professor said.
Right.
You saying you did, or you and your friend.
Right.
But if there were people that did understand it, that's telling me it's possible to understand it.
Right.
So I can't really buy into that.
Right. You hit it with the hook. Did anybody else pay?
Yeah, I go around.
Right.
You know, sometimes I take it off of you.
Right.
One of the biggest things that hurt young people, especially men and young black men, is accountability. I messed up. I did that because when you admit to it, you can own it. Once you own it, now you got to fix it, whatever. A lot of folks, well, we didn't, you know, we'll make all kind of excuses. You'll never be able to grow and develop until you own it.
I think children should go through, you know, and I'm guilty of working very hard to maintaining that my children didn't have to eat fried bologna sandwiches or sugar sandwiches because we had no food in the refrigerator. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of that. I'm very guilty of that. But at the same time, it probably would have made them stronger children if they had. You get what I'm saying? Because I mean, I'm cooking. I'm already know how to fry chicken at 9 and 10 years old. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know what to do in the kitchen at 9, 10 years old with no help. You know, none of that because my mother was not around.
Yeah.
My mom was in the streets doing her thing. So, and I didn't have a father. I didn't know him. I never met him. So I had to do what I had to do to make things happen. And those little things, getting up in the morning, dressing myself for school, you know, going out the door, going to school. You get what I'm saying? Like,
growing up fast.
Real fast. I mean, coming home after school, locking the door, doing my homework, cooking me something to eat, watching TV until I fell asleep. Those type of things I did for a long time by myself. You know what I'm saying? My mom lived in certain areas where my grandmother, you know, didn't necessarily have a car to get to me. But it was just certain things that I did as a child that I went through that made me stronger as an adult, that I think that, you know, maybe I should let my kids fry a couple of bologna sandwiches, or I should let my kids have only 3 outfits to wear to school for the whole school year and see how they work it out. But that's my fault. I think it would add character to who they are as a person.
Well, hindsight the best side.
Right.
You know that, and I think we all find that out. Hey guys, we're talking about do you want your kids to fear you or respect you? Call in, and the call-in number is 678-740-9894. Again, the call-in number is 678-740-9894. What's Slick say?
Slick says our older kids was our testers. The kids now get away with so much more than our older kids.
I believe it. And like I said, sometimes, you know, I just said from personal experience, I don't think I'm lighter on William. I think I'm smarter with William. Now, I damn sure ain't got the juice.
You less stressed with it. Like, you don't, everything's not DEFCON 5 with William.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit
from the big deal, I straight. Yeah. Like, look, man, we get that in.
Right.
You know, those kind of things. A quick story, you know, just in regards to just me being a coach. Again, we're talking about you want your kids to feel you, to respect you. Coaching football for 22 years, you know, you see football and guys come out there, you want to coach. One of the biggest things they see, they feel like, okay, you play football, we're gonna make it tough. But you understand, football is a sport where you got 11 people, 22 people on the field, 11 people on each side, 22 people all together at one time. And everybody got assignments and things that, you know, and if you know anything about football, that typically when you see on TV a guy caught a wide open pass or something, it's usually a blown assignment. I say all that to say that a lot of times, just with coaching, I would just get to my coach, being a head coach,
Mm.
they go cussing at the kid made a mistake. Now, hey, coach,
Calm down.
I don't think they know why.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Coach, you fussing at now. I didn't like when I played, and I never got into that curse. I didn't mind the cursing. I don't like the cursing the person. Like, got dog this or what the hell are you doing? That wasn't no big deal to me. But if you start calling somebody a personal name, you MF this, that was a little thing with that. But I never had a problem with the cursing.
Mm.
The issue come up is you got to understand first, do the kid know what they doing?
Right.
Like, coach, before you go raise hell, coach, we need to make sure why they did. They might really don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I say all that to say, we start talking about that, fear and respect, yelling and stuff. Sometimes you can miss out on things, but when you want to deliver a message, because the kid's so focused on your fussing and your delivery, they still don't even listen to
what you're saying.
Going on. Flip side of that too, from the kid perspective, when a kid make a mistake, hey son, you're supposed to do that. I didn't do it, coach.
Right.
Son, you just missed that block. You supposed to, coach. No, I didn't.
Right.
And one thing I always said to the kids, and I say this to any adult, if you don't admit that you just messed up, we can't fix it.
Right.
Like if you really don't say, listen, I messed up. If I know how to fix it or if I don't, we can't move forward.
Right.
Because you're gonna keep, you know what I'm saying? We can't do that. And I think far too often in life, people just don't want to say when they messed up or when they're wrong. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
No, it's perfect.
Right.
That doesn't mean I'm gonna feel some type of way when I did wrong. You dig what I'm saying? Like, hell, my IQ running. But you have to be able to, when we have, those points in life. And I think one of the most powerful things that a parent can do is be able to show their kids, hey, especially when you're doing things with your kids, damn, son, I messed up, my bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Instead of always, you did this, you did that.
You did
that.
Right.
Parents, we gonna mess up, right? We're gonna make mistakes.
We always do.
But you don't see that a lot in regards to, damn, man, my bad, y'all. I'm sorry, man, I messed up, whatever. And the thing about that is, once you can be honest with yourself, honest with your mate, admit to your mistakes in front of your children. And I'm talking about just like, damn, man, I thought we were supposed to be here this time. I thought we were supposed to do that. I forgot.
I thought they was open today. They closed.
Exactly.
The little stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly. You might not be blowing up at them as much as, damn, man, why the hell you didn't make it to this place, this, that, and that. I don't think most people want to do that. No. Because kids ain't stupid. They see, well, damn, daddy, you late all the damn time. Well, damn, daddy, we got, I see the man say final notice. You know what I'm saying? That's due. Right. You know what I'm saying? I see all this in there, right? Right. And damn, daddy, you still working at, doing this little job here. Right. You talking about, I ain't doing if they grow.
What you doing?
And I think those conversations don't happen. And a lot of times people get, that's why I think a lot of those fucking relationships with your adult children happen because it was so one-sided with your conversations. Do. You ain't did this. You need to do this, that, and that. And as your child grows and they get exposure and they learn, you do. The hell you doing? Right. Just keeping it real.
There's no happy medium between the dudes and the I did what you do. Slick says, I bet Poochie's older boy say, Poochie, William get away with everything.
You know what? I don't think they'll say that. I think that they know I don't flip as much. But William been here. We know damn fool. You know what I'm saying? I've been but I definitely my oldest son. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because you take consideration, I'm 22. You know what I'm saying? That, and we go back to that. Right. So 22, 40. But you know what I'm saying?
A wiser gap. A lot of things that you wouldn't. I mean, and that's a progression. Your older son might say that your next son didn't get as much trouble, and then the next son might say that Chris didn't get in trouble that much, and then Chris might say, you know what I'm saying? So progressions as you go, you learn.
And a lot of stuff they won't see till they become parents either. Right. They're just keeping it real. Until they become parents, they ain't gonna see it either. Hey guys, tonight we're talking about do you want your kids to fear you or respect you? The call in number 678-740-9894. Feel free to call in. 678-740-9894. It was something I was about to say in regards to what I was just talking about, the coaching aspect, which is owning stuff. I really think a lot of times parents miss that piece. Miss that piece because you really can grow from that lab where you saying, okay, look, man, I dropped the ball with it, and you can just show that, hey, listen, you're gonna make mistakes,
right?
But it's like I'm perfect. What you also miss not teaching your kids is how to handle adversity that you might have caused. You see what I'm saying, lab?
Right.
Because it's always one sided, and I think that's a big aspect. A lot of parents don't. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, I don't like being wrong,
but sometimes it happens.
Hey, that's the thing about it. It happens.
Sometimes it happens.
When I say they enjoy it, hey, daddy wrong, daddy, I get it.
Right.
I get it. That's cool. But that's why daddy try to make sure I go through as many different things possible so I don't have to do that. But it happens. And I can be straight up and honest with them when it does and stuff. But I that is something I want for parents to kind of don't miss teaching moments.
Right.
When you make mistakes, to not be transparent. There ain't an issue. You gotta be embarrassed by it or certain things and stuff like that. But you always gotta understand that because we can be so much in control of stuff.
And I'm glad you that point. I was gonna make. I think a lot of times parents don't want to admit their mistakes because they feel they will lose control. They will. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm telling this child I'm making mistakes, this child might not respect what I'm telling them to do because I'm making mistakes.
That's fair, and that probably be the case. But also you got to take consideration once that child grows up, that adult child saying this was all a damn facade, and that happens. Right, that happens a lot.
That happens
a lot.
Right, because
our heroes growing up, once we become older and mature and get exposure, our heroes disappear.
Right,
man. What the hell? You be damn y'all were just making this amount of money. Y'all did this. Y'all did that. You didn't go to college. You didn't do this, that, and that. You know, some things can be approached with reverence. Someone can be like, well, why you so much on me? You didn't do this.
Right. And we have that. Parents have that we have that habit bad of trying to live what our lives through our children. And we push certain things on them that we wish we would have done.
Yeah, absolutely. What does Savage Bliss PR says? Children can also respect parents more with transparency. Share the mistakes without shame. And you know, I understand certain things may be hurtful and that, but like I said, man, you never know. Just don't understand what daddy messed up at and stuff like that. I went through that even with talking to my kids, like going through my divorce. Look, did what daddy did.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They might, you know, we had them tough conversations, but that don't make it right. I ain't saying it was right. It's just what I did.
Right. And I'm giving you I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off. I'm gonna give you a different aspect of that. When I got my divorce, my wife was telling my kids what I did and what, you know what I'm saying? And I never spoke badly about her whatsoever. We've had this discussion before. But as they got older, they saw all that stuff that she was saying about me wasn't true. Yeah. But I let them get older to see it. You get what I'm saying? Now they like, Mom, Dad, Mama was talking to that can't be true. I said, hey, she's still your mother. And you still need to respect her, regardless of what you think. She's still your mother. So I always push that on them, and I never will talk bad about it. But just the aspect of them seeing things a little bit differently as they got older.
Because, like, and our children are us.
Right.
We can hear somebody. We can hear people talk.
Right.
But their actions still gonna resonate more with us, right?
Right.
Man, you know it ain't no damn secret because he called here acting crazy. My ex-father-in-law. One of his biggest things he's always say, you know, you guys don't listen to your elders. Listen to your elders. And you know me, I always say, like, an elder is based in wisdom. You could be younger than me and be my elder,
right? Because
you got more experience with this particular situation. And like I used to get him, man, you are older. Right. You're not an elder.
Right. You're older.
You know what I'm saying?
You're older.
I got more experience as a parent than you.
Right.
I got more, you know what I'm saying, with certain things. You got more wisdom as far as an elder, it may be in certain that he didn't air shit.
Right.
But outside of that, no.
Right.
And I never crossed the lines to disrespect him because, you know, like his white father. But at the end of the day, it was always, this is what you need to do because the elder spoke. You're not an elder.
Right.
And I do think a lot of his views and a lot of older people, when they don't have any kind of parenting, but just because they are a parent, they just feel like they can say and talk and stuff, and it's damn near how dare you. You know, just like a lot of older people are guilty of that. Too.
Right.
They just say what the hell off the top of their head.
Right,
and because I'm old, I can say that.
No.
Bullshit.
Right.
But they do it. They do it
all the time.
Yeah, and they damn near like, how dare you being disrespectful? It's not that. You just can't say any damn thing.
You won't. Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I do think, it ain't nothing uncommon for parents or family members kind of cross the lines a little bit. You got to bring them back in and stuff like that. But a lot of folks just don't give a damn.
Right.
And I went through that definitely with my ex-father-in-law. You know what I'm saying?
People have the older folks have the audacity to think just because they are older than you, and that they are that you have to just uphold them and to a higher standard, and what they say is law, and that's just not the case. Not especially when I know. I know more than you. I mean, I'm just gonna be honestly, but I always say to myself, don't ever go into a room talking about things because there may be someone in the room that knows more about it than you do. So I never just go in there acting like I know everything, because there's bound to be somebody who knows more about it than I do.
I'm gonna be real with you right now, Lamb. I think right now, more than any other time in the world, especially people I would say from 65, definitely 70 and up, where we were kids. Just say you go back to the 90s or 80s, an older person could say something, and it maybe from a philosophical standpoint, it still may have had some kind of weight. The world is so much different now.
Right.
Like they are totally lost.
It's flat
from
now.
With a technological standpoint. Like they really damn near, you got life experiences, but damn near could be damn near like you say they are like be dumb.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're really in a place where if they can't use a damn phone, a computer, man, they're really lost. And I don't think that people that were older when we were growing up, the most they might have dealt with was, the TV got a remote as opposed to then you got to turn the damn channel.
And that wasn't in prevalent back then.
But you think about it, like when we were younger, say even to our 20s, you really didn't have, a computer was limited. Some people had cell phones, some didn't. Beepers, like it wasn't a lot of technological advances.
Right.
Well, a lot of stuff they said probably still resonated.
Right.
Like now, man, it's totally different, man.
Right.
I mean, you can turn on the TVs, the girls kissing girls, the boys kissing boys.
Right.
We got commercials with people doing all kind of stuff. The puppies having sex.
Right.
This is all on regular TV. And
cussing on regular TV.
Hey, I'm just saying, like, it is totally different. And you really have to be, treat people right. Whereas I always say this, that elders book. I'm a big proponent, like, older person respect, which they respect people, period. I always believe in just giving up people that kind of respect and raising your kids to do that, especially with their elders and older people and stuff like that. But I do think right now from that OG perspective, I'm very, very mindful. The things are different. You know what I'm saying? There are kids doing things that I couldn't do from being able to make money and stuff that I couldn't even fathom.
Right.
What we're doing.
Sitting at home behind my computer making millions of dollars.
But on the flip side of it is too, some of the ways still saying how you can just make one or two bad decisions,
right,
and all that damn money gone.
Right.
That didn't change.
That's always gonna be the same.
That didn't change.
Right.
So I think all ideas have a certain place, but I think people just have to be mindful of that. We start again talking about if you want your kids to respect you or feel you, take consideration of how to develop their self-esteem, like in regards to how you coming down on them or not, as far as you yelling at them and all that kind of stuff, where you get an opportunity for them to develop aspects like conflict resolution. In regards to if you always coming down on them, like you said earlier, what did the teacher say, whatever, or somebody come at you in a certain way. If you always got a straightforward way of how you want to deal with people, are you really teaching your child how to handle adverse situations?
Right.
My grandma always said, "Pooch, you can't always turn the other cheek." But sometimes you just get in a situation where you ain't got to touch cheeks.
Right.
Or deals, you do that.
Right.
Like, some you don't even want to get into that.
Sometimes you just walk away.
Yeah.
It's just
a natural progression.
Exactly. Sexy Redbone 28 said, "Do you think if kids fear you, will they be open to talk with you?" It depends on where they at. it's not again, the question was, do you think the kids fear you? Will they be open to talk with you? Your kids can respect you, but that don't mean they're gonna talk with you. I think the relationship you have with doing certain things, when we start talking about fear, and I'm just speaking for myself, the way you're more of a imposing presence on your kids, I would say from 10 and on.
Mm-hmm.
As they get older, you don't necessarily need that. You need to be having certain things in place.
Right.
But you can always have from the inception communication avenues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how you doing? How you doing? What's going on? Hey, is everything going to school? Did somebody touch you? Somebody bother you?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's be some things, whatever, you can just be having a conversation. And they still know these are the rules. Mm-hmm. Right?
Right.
I think the whole issue we started talking about, with fear, I don't want to get fear overly we overuse that
mm-hmm.
because there are some things you should just want to avoid.
Right.
Because there are a lot of people that sitting in jail right now because they didn't respect certain things,
mm-hmm.
and they definitely didn't feel, order and certain. But it seems like they got to spend 10, 15 years of their life to understand stuff like excuse me, respect. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. You hear some of these guys, and that always amazed me, the amount of people making videos on what they did in prison.
Right.
How there's such a big penchant on respect. Excuse me, this, that, and that.
Right.
But the shit wasn't like that when you
got here. Right.
And that's just amazing to me. There's something that simple.
Mm-hmm.
Get up, stand straight line.
Because the consequence of it is dire.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. I don't think you got to go to jail for somebody to tell you when to piss and shit and go to sleep and stand there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You fundamentally heard that before.
Right.
But because you forced
to do it.
Now it's okay, we got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Now we join certain religions. Now we got certain gangs. All these,
we reading, we doing all the stuff we normally could have did when we was free, but we're not doing it now.
Yeah, you don't have to go to jail to learn order.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we asked the question, do I feel like that they would talk to you better? You don't necessarily know. How you communicate with your child. You can be cool. They love you. Don't fear at all. They still don't say shit to you.
Because my children, like I said, my ex-wife were more on go straight to the corporal punishment, and I'm more of a psychological type. Now I'll punish, but I'm more psychological. With my 3 children, my sons prefer to talk to her, and my daughter preferred to talk to me.
Gotcha. Let me get this quick caveat. Now, to that question, do you feel like a child fearing you when they want to come talk to you? I think it's more of if they fear your reaction.
Mm-hmm.
If they know that they can come to you and you can still have like displeasure, but you don't blow your top, as opposed to why? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because you getting disappointed by what your children say and you blowing your top, 2 different things.
Right.
I think that your reaction on how they process, because sometimes you know certain times, well, I can't talk to daddy about this, I can't talk to mama about this, and that could be because mama might flip, or dad might flip, or it might just be like, I don't think daddy's smart enough to understand it.
Right, that could be the case.
And I don't think mama really understand it, whatever.
Right.
So I think sometimes to that question, I think that was a good question. Well, when I got a chance to think about it, I think it's more how your kids perceive your reaction.
To what
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, like a kid can feel like, okay, if I steal some stuff from the store, daddy gonna beat my tail. But if I know I'm having some problems at school, bullies, that and that, and I know like this man ain't gonna be a certain way with the conversation, I might open up to him.
Mm-hmm.
I still fear him.
Right.
I knew my granddad would knock the hell out of me if I stole.
Right.
But if I had an issue, I can talk to him
right.
without him coming back being judgmental or this, that, and that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just think that's something to think. That's a good question. I think that's something to think about is, you had to feel the person, but just, and it's more just reaction.
Just the reaction, right.
But definitely like how that person interacts with your response and stuff like that got a lot to do with it. I think that's something the parents need to be mindful of. Where they said they don't talk to me, they didn't want to do that because if you're narrow-minded, because at the end of the day, if the kids say, I don't want to go to school, I'm gay, I think that's I want to drop out, I don't want to play this sport no more. Like at the end of the day, we can still have the way we feel, We can't change
You
that.
can't change none of
Shit.
Right.
You can't.
it.
You can't change it.
It's
Now,
just
some
what it
stuff that they say, okay, I'm just saying this because I don't want to be bothered.
is. Mhm.
I've had that, you know what, Dad, I don't want to go to practice with it. Man, get your ass over here. Come on,
Right.
man. You know, we're doing that. But if it's certain like things, you're like, look, let's talk.
Mhm.
And it just might not work. Don't tell me you don't want to go to college because your ass don't want to sit here and take these damn exams. You don't want to study and all that. So what's your game plan?
Right.
Well, I think I can do this. Oh, you gotta get the hell up out of here.
Right.
Like, I'm listening to you. Are you saying this because you just don't really feel like doing the BS to come along with being that way?
Mhm.
Or, you know, you really feel that way? I think those kind of conversations probably need to be had a little bit more. When you haven't shown respect what your kids supposed to feel, you also help them from a role model standpoint. Like Lab said before, they learn watching their parents do certain things and they can bottle off from that. You also bring in autonomy, independence, where you just say, like, you know, I said before, you know, when they're in positions where you have to go and make certain decisions.
Mhm.
I went with Chris to go get some ties, and when we went there, Chris, he's very, very bright, but he doesn't talk a lot.
Mhm.
I stood back, go take care of your tie stuff.
Right.
He went to the guy, he said, hey, Dad, he gonna charge me this. Did you ask me this question? Ask me that question. Oh, no. Go there, holler at him.
Right.
I did that, stayed back, let him handle that. No, I ain't even let nobody get over on him.
Right.
But I want him to be able to handle it. So the future he doing it himself, that's fine.
Right.
But I ain't
you might
finna-
not be around. You might not be
Exactly.
available at that point.
Exactly.
Right.
But I'm giving you enough guidance where I ain't imposing on you going over whatever. You go over there. I'm sitting over here back. I ain't saying
You
shit.
just say, let me hold on. Let me just. He needs this side tie. Yeah.
You'll never learn.
Right.
But I had to put him in that position where, like, okay, cool. But I can feel comfortable going forward. Hey, this how they, you know, going on. And I think that the more we can breathe that, now we can say, okay, look, they can make those decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Because what we don't want to be doing, we always want to, let me say, I personally always want to be there to help my kids to give them advice and
Mhm.
guidance.
Mm-hmm.
I love being able to do that. But I don't want to be making damn decisions for you.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to be sitting here telling, no, I don't want to be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you my strong opinion on something.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the decision is yours.
Right.
Now, brother, with the decision, take the consequences that come along with it, good or bad,
Right.
and be able to live with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that's what I got my OGs for.
Mm-hmm.
To look at the pros and the cons, give me insight that I might not be able to see. And I think that's what a parent does, especially when they become adults. You know, I ain't gotta be sitting here picking out your house, picking out your car, and picking out. I wish the fuck doing that.
Right. Right.
You know, my perspective is, hey, bro, look, you know, you thinking about this. I know you like that.
Right.
You know, you making this.
Right.
No gonna hit you for that. Insurance gonna hit you for that.
Right.
Your rent gonna hit you for that. You know you got daycare. You know your girl like shopping.
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying, dog. Now you know what Shaq like and what coming in.
Right.
Can you afford that? I'm throwing that at you.
Mm-hmm.
Now the decision yours. I done gave you a lot of data to process.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But me trying to pick it, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And so what that also has showed them, like, okay, I'm thinking, but when they have my grandkids, hey, same thing. Listen, I know that what you want. You know, you asked about this, that, and that. Look, bro, you know what you're making.
Mm-hmm.
You know you got car note this, insurance that. That ain't good on gas.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know you driving this, that, hour to work. You're gonna
Right.
spend this. You know, can you do all these kind of these variables, not to make you not do nothing, but
But you understand. Right.
Exactly. And I think that's what parents got to do.
A little bit more communication
Yeah.
with.
And a lot of that has to do with that conversation going to be from we start talking about the fear and respect.
Mm-hmm.
Are they gonna listen to you?
Mm-hmm.
Because I be saying tell you, I ain't gonna say tell you. All my kids be like, okay,
Right.
okay,
Right. Great. Yeah.
no, I say tell you something. I got one.
We all got one of them.
Yeah, we all got it. I got it. I know. Don't know shit.
Right.
Don't know shit. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but that's the kind of thing. But as a parent, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't tripping. I said it. That's on you.
Right.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
don't have to handle it.
But what I ain't gonna do is, well, this is what you're gonna be buying. This is what you're gonna be doing. And like, hell no. Hell no. No, I'm not doing it at all.
Yeah. Got some comments.
No, they're all trying to look and see and
No, we
everything.
ain't got none of
Well,
that.
look, man, it's been an awesome conversation, and I appreciate everybody being patient with me, especially with the worm guy. And I apologize about that. I probably said some things that probably wasn't the wisest.
Oh,
Even with the inbred and
yeah.
mama. I meant what I said. And but
that's the world we live in today.
yeah, but definitely, and that also probably go back, like I said again, when you start looking at respect in the world and doing stuff like that, you see somebody got out, you shouldn't want to do that.
We don't like what we talked about a couple of years ago on the show, grace and mercy. We just don't give it no more. We don't give grace and mercy no more. It's just out the window. We want it, we want to receive it, but we dang sure don't give it out.
No, but again, I do think that is this example. We all pop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Pop
I take
for some.
Yeah, so I take it how it comes. But listen, man, great show, great conversation. Again, I apologize for being tardy, but I appreciate everybody staying in and tuning in for the show. Again, if you came in the middle of the show, go to Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden. On YouTube, you see the blue man icon. You can put my name in, Deonte Burden. Put that in the Google search. All that stuff will come up. But also remember, guys, we'll be back next week with my other YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar. We'll talk about finance, entrepreneurship, and investing. Since Redbone said, great conversation, great topic. I appreciate that. I just think that more conversations like this need to be had, especially with adults, and have those kind of conversations without the gloves on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Defensive. No defense. Just be free flow.
Yeah, because what happens a lot is when you have people that are always free roaming and want to get their advice and opinions, it never fails. They kids do something stupid. So you want to be the subject matter expert,
right? And
tell people what to do with their kids. Now your kid get locked up,
right?
And your kid get this, that, and get this, and then they flunk out of school.
You want to be the expert, the subject matter expert, and the scientist, but your experiment is failing.
Man, that's why I be honest, like, look, man, this worked for me, but I be damn if I was here to tell you my kids ain't bump their head. Good kids,
right?
But they're gonna make mistakes
always,
just like we did,
right?
So I hope the conversation helped you guys. Appreciate you all. Love you all. Take care of yourself, and I'll talk with you soon.